Idleness is the Dead Sea that swallows all virtues. The great Benjamin Franklin expressed in his quote, "a reality that has been and will continue to be true at all times." Laziness has already destroyed millions of brilliant ideas and ruined many talents without allowing them to unfold. Each of us consists of two parts: the animal part, which wants to eat, sleep, reproduce, and have fun, and the higher spiritual part, which has dreams and goals. Human life consists of a struggle between these two components, and those whose inner cow wins live in idleness and lack of development in all areas of life. That is why all successful people have one thing in common: they have conquered laziness. Their life is filled with a lot of interesting events. They know how to work hard and have a good rest. In this video, you will learn about 10 amazing ways to beat laziness, which are guaranteed to help you in life. First, the X100 rule. Imagine you have a workout scheduled, but you really don't feel like going to it, and so you get the thought, nothing will happen if I skip one workout. And here we use the X100 rule. Imagine what would happen if you missed 100 workouts. Your figure would be a far cry from the figure you wish to have. And now immediately imagine what the result would be after you attend 100 workouts. After that many workouts, you will surely get closer to the figure of your dreams. A person often does not see the consequences of one small action, but clearly understands the consequences of many monotonous actions. So be sure to use this method of combating laziness. Second, past victories. Every person at least once in his life experienced a joyful feeling of victory, which is forever in the memory. That feeling of euphoria and self-satisfaction from the result of the work done. Think of 3 major victories in your life. Maybe you won a contest as a kid, together with a team won a championship, got a diploma, or did a great project. Pick 3 and remember each one. Remember the feeling you had. And every time laziness comes close to you again, remember your 3 accomplishments and how you felt in those moments. This way will incredibly energize you and give you the motivation to take action. Third, small pieces. The amazing man Michel Lotito, who used to eat metal objects, was once able to eat an airplane. That's right, an airplane. How is it possible, you may have thought? The man spent 2 whole years just separating the parts of the plane into small particles and adding them to his food. In the same way, each of us should divide a big task into small pieces and get our brains to do a small action. So for example, if you have a task of reading for 30 minutes, your brain will perceive it as very heavy and energy-consuming. So you need to break it down into small components. Sit down at your desk, open the book, read 1 page, read 10 minutes, and so on. Force yourself to just sit down at the table first. Your brain will perceive it as something simple and won't resist. So gradually, you'll trick it into doing small actions. Eventually, you will complete 30 minutes of reading with ease. Many athletes use this method in endurance training. Use it yourself to fight laziness. Fourth, remember your goal. Goal setting is a very big topic that requires a long time to deal with. We're not going to waste time in this video. Let's just focus on the fact that you should have a big goal for the next 5 years. You should see it as a clear picture. It should motivate you incredibly. And now every time you're lazy to do something, think about your goal. Motivation and energy will visit you right away. Fifth, plan your day. You already have a goal, but without planning, it will be hard to achieve. You should schedule your activities for the year, the month, the week. But let's start simple. Start planning each of your days by writing down all the things you need to do. How will this help you beat laziness? Proved that if a person does not have a prescribed list of activities, his brain does not perceive tasks as important and therefore lazy to perform them. Also, the lack of a plan generates a desire to fill time with unnecessary things. But when everything is planned, our brain knows what things are coming. And also, a very important factor is that when you have a plan and perform an action, you feel an incredible satisfaction. Soon, it becomes a habit, and a person begins to do more and more. Sixth, tell. For most people, how others think of us is very important, and it can help in defeating laziness. If you've planned to do 30 workouts in 2 months, post it on all social media, tell your wife and friends. Post a video of each workout, proving that you're keeping your word. When you suddenly don't feel like going, that factor will serve as a strong motivator. 7th, the right questions. Researchers have proven that if our brain doesn't understand why it wants to do something, it will resist. This is especially true for activities involving mental and physical exertion. So we have to learn how to ask ourselves the right questions and how to answer them. Here is an example. Jack decided to learn a programming language, but he was lazy and kept putting it off. When he heard this advice, he asked himself, why do I want to learn programming? Because it would help me get a better paying job. Why do I need a better paying job? To raise my family's standard of living, travel more, and start investing. Why would I want to raise my family's standard of living and travel? Because I love my family and always dream of traveling. That way, the brain understands why to do a particular action. And every time the laziness will come, Jack will base why he needs to take a new step. 8th, what have I already done? This is a very useful way of doing things, which is one of my favorites. Let's turn to an example again. Take Eva, who set a goal to learn French and planned to learn 20 new words every day. Eva has been learning words every day for 2 months now, but today she suddenly got lazy, very tired, and doesn't want to sit down to study at all. But then she remembers that she has already learned as many as 1,200 words, and she is on track to reach her goal. To stop now and not do it would mean backing away from the plan and taking a step back. Can she afford to do that? In the end, the girl sits down and does what she has planned. Human is like an assembly line. When you do every day, it becomes a habit, but worth one stop, and everything can break down. So stopping often means 2 steps back. Remember that and use this method. 9th, focus on the result. I already said in one point that you need to think about your main goal. This way is a little bit like that. Learn to focus not on the process at hand, but on the outcome. For example, you really don't want to go to work. Today there is a lot of paperwork, dealing with unpleasant colleagues and other things. So how do you force yourself? Just focus on the moment you leave the office. How will you feel? What relief and joy will come to you? Imagine walking into a coffee shop nearby and having a wonderful meal there. Apply this method. It works. 10th, meditation. It may seem strange to you, but meditation is very good at fighting laziness. If you can't bring yourself to follow a plan, take 15 minutes to practice meditation. Just relax and focus on your breathing or do a practice you know. The result will surprise you, so come back to write a comment about this method. Well, I wish you good luck in the fight against laziness. Use these methods like the video and subscribe to our channel.